This week's edition of the Saints Happy Hour Podcast Big Show. The Saints look amazing. Marquez Callaway, shoot, he looks like the star of the day. My firstborn son, Lil Jordan, finds redemption. The Ken Crawley comeback continues. And, oh yeah, Jameis is your 2021 Saints starting quarterback. Tonight, we bathe in Saints optimism. Thomas, hit the intro.
This is Sean Payton, head coach of the New Orleans Saints. What's with this Saints Happy podcast? This has to be the worst Saints podcast in the world. Ralph can't say anyone's name right. Andrew doesn't know football. Everyone has a hard time listening to Dave. And is Kevin even there tonight? The audio with this podcast, my God, the audio, it's painful.
Hey, welcome to another edition of Saints Happy Hour Podcast. Dave is stealing my job doing the cold intro. Cold open. He did it better than I did it, and he didn't even have weeks of practice like me. He wrote it out like a true professional. It was mediocre, which is like 6 steps up from me. We're on Twitch. Pound the donate button if you're watching live. If you aren't and you're listening to this later, follow us on Twitch. Remember to subscribe to Saints Happy Hour wherever you get your podcast. Also, become an annual patron to get the best Saints podcast every day, and you get a month for free, and you get the Saints Survival Mug. Dave made these up. We only have 2 of these puppies left. You need to get on in that before we run out of mug.
So what happens if you once those 2 are done? Do you order a whole nother batch or what?
I don't know. We'll have to see.
Or is that ship sailed?
No, you got to go to eBay and hope somebody is selling it on the secondary market for a markup. They're going to be $40.
So
get it now, because otherwise, get it now, because otherwise, $40 on eBay.
PS5 you mean $283?
Yeah.
How much is that in Polish?
It's not even glass; it's just acrylic.
So the first person that donates $5 gets a VIP badge. I don't know what that is, but Thomas says it's amazing. Donate to us on Twitch. And by the way, Twitch clips, the clip that's the funniest moment on Discord will play the best clips. And if it really makes us laugh, I'll send you a t-shirt.
Did we post the hotline? Are we?
Oh, we did. We set the hotline up. We didn't have a lot of entries this week. We were going to play it. Thomas has got it queued up. We'll get to it in a minute. I think people need to get in the spirit of the hotline. And once we fire that puppy back up, we only had a couple of calls, but we'll have more as the season goes on and the preseason. We got the hotline. It's back up and running. It's like a 75 Chevy. You got to crank that engine, and once it gets running, it'll be okay. Listen,
like Drew Brees' arm.
No, not like Drew Brees' arm. The Saints, the 2 passes that Jameis, the 2 touchdown passes that he threw to Callaway that were amazing, by the way. Thomas, play the Callaway highlights. Dave, those 2 touchdowns were the longest touchdown passes by air yards the Saints have had in 4 years, regular season, preseason, or playoffs. So,
2nd and 6.
But he looked amazing.
I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe that he caught it. I mean, I watching it live, that was the further end. That was the far end zone. But watching it live, I saw he got interfered with, and I was like, "There's no way he actually caught it." I mean, amazing. But amazing ball placement by Jameis, and then obviously amazing concentration by Callaway to fight through the interference and still track the ball and still get under it and still catch it.
I will freely admit, Andrew, I was like, that dude is really fired up for PI. I was like, that's cool that they got 1st and goal, Callaway. But you're fired up like you caught a touchdown. Oh, you did catch a touchdown. I didn't realize he caught it.
Andrew's eating his W. Andrew's eating a big old W. I honestly think the second catch, though, maybe a little push off there. It looked like there was a little bit of a push off on that catch.
A little hand fighting, yeah.
Yeah, that second touchdown by Marquez. But I think that second catch is more impressive by Callaway. I mean, most of it actually, the whole thing was one-handed. I didn't even see that until just now. He never really gets that right hand underneath the ball. So, I mean, that's like a back shoulder one-handed catch with a guy right on your ass, right at the front pylon of the end zone. Just like incredible, like totally incredible.
So I'm eating W's.
Yeah.
I know Sean Payton's eating W's, and back to your point, Ralph, about this being the most air yards, whatever. This offense really hasn't had an arm like this in 5-6 years. I mean, I don't know that Breeze and his prime could throw like Jameis down the field like this.
But I mean, he was a great deep thrower in his prime.
There was a point where Breeze was going down the field and crushing.
And he was the best. He was the best at it.
And we haven't seen that in 5 years. And so I think Sean Payton, maybe more than anyone, is like, this is what I envisioned. And I think probably the frustrating thing for him on some level is I finally got a guy that can throw like this, and now I don't have any receivers. So you mentioned Callaway. Like, I think it's kind of a double-edged. It's not only Jameis making those throws, which I think we knew he was capable of. It's a receiver showing that he has the ability to get downfield, that he can separate, that he can make those tough concentration catches. So it was a win all around, man.
I just want to say, like, having been to the game, having been back in my seats, nice and low, second row, it's been 2 years since I've been able to see the Saints up close and personal like this. And even taking out the touchdown passes, even before Jameis threw that first touchdown pass to Marquez Callaway, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, because I went to the game by myself. I didn't have anybody to talk to. But I'm sitting there thinking myself, he was still playing well. Aside from that, he was still making good decisions. He was quick with his decisions and his reads and check. He's not afraid to just make the check down throw. And just leading. He was leading the team down the field on a nice drive, as it were. And they wound up going deep, and it wound up being an incredible pass and an incredible catch and an incredible touchdown. But even before that, I thought Jameis was playing was very Breeze-like, and we saw none of that from Taysom. We saw absolutely none of that from Taysom.
Taysom.
I feel bad for him, but like
on his birthday.
That was his birthday last night. Ugh.
Well, the tight end position opened up for him if he wants to go back to tight end.
Bad. He's gonna have to. I mean, because he's just, first of all, and you guys touched on it in your post game podcast. First of all, he is obviously this preseason, he's dedicated to being a pocket passer. Like, he has mentally said, I am not going to run. Even if a play breaks down, I'm not going to run. I'm not going to revert to that. And that's not Taysom. Like, that's not who he is as a quarterback. Like, his natural Taysom is a guy who, if sometimes he just kind of makes a run for it. And he's just trying too hard to be that quarterback, the pocket quarterback. And he just doesn't have the same. He can't get through his reads the same way. He doesn't make quick decisions. He doesn't trust his receivers. And it's very obvious. It's just very, very obvious. And I think that's the difference between the two of them.
Well, listen.
And again,
Troutman got hurt. Nick Vannett got hurt in this game. The Saints are down. I think Garrett Griffin's been injured for a while. So.
I know.
Look,
well, you're going to say that Taysom didn't get the benefit of playing with Armstead.
No. I'm not. Look, no, not at all.
He's saying Taysom needs
the same shit.
Hit the creatine, gain the weight back, and become a tight end. Is what he's saying.
That's right.
Well, I just want to say one thing. The shit that we are seeing from Taysom. I'm sorry, I said the S word. The mistakes that we're seeing from Taysom now this preseason. It's the same stuff we saw last season. It's same old Taysom. Like, this is not new. And I think that's it. I think we know definitively what we have with Taysom.
Do you think there's one person on Saints Twitter in the fan base that thinks otherwise at this point?
Is there a Taysom 101? What you're asking is there a Taysom 101?
He's in my Twitter mentions, and he was saying Taysom has a winning career record. Jameis doesn't. That's just facts. And I was
that's true. But at that point,
true.
you're just trolling. Yeah.
Small sample.
Yeah.
But stupid. Wake up.
Thomas on point already.
I want Taysom. So by the way, I saw that the Saints had Taysom Hill with the ones today at practice. I mean, that's cute, Sean Payton, that you want to like hold it close to the vest and make everybody think that this is still in play. You know, this job is still open for business. But come on, man, who are you trying to fool? But I want Taysom Hill to start on the Tom Benson, empty calories, ice cream
and red wine.
Yeah, bottle of wine and a gallon of Rocky Road. I want him chugging that empty calories right before bed every night because he's got to put on 20 pounds. He's got to go back to tight end. That's where we need him. That's where he can help this team.
I like that, Ralph. I like the Saints version of Scenes from an Italian Restaurant by Billy Joel. Yeah. That might need to be my next jingle. I might need to be changing the word. Who's gonna play tight end tonight?
Well, they need it. We'll get to injuries in a minute. They need.
Why is that quality so terrible? It does not sound like that on my phone.
That might be my favorite soundbite ever. Jameis, he locked down the job, but Thomas, get the Sean Payton sound queued up. I want you to listen to Sean Payton talk about how Jameis looked, and he talked about the explosive plays and the throws, but he also talked about how Jameis was so good managing the pocket, changing the protections. It was really good. Thomas, play the bite.
Just the explosives. I thought they pressured him on one play, and he was able to kind of quick switch protection, get into a route for a touchdown. I thought there were some real good exposures there early on, and I thought we handled it well.
Man,
Dave,
phrasing. Just make sure you're not using the words explosives describing these plays when you're at the airport, like entering the gate, man.
Yeah.
Well, wait, hold on. First of all, I got to say, I saw him on the sideline, and I guess I wasn't paying attention, but I saw people in Discord and on Twitter talking about Payton wearing a hat now.
Yes.
And not a visor. And I got to say,
now,
this is the first time I've actually seen him up close and personal with the hat. I don't like it. I don't know what's going on.
Well, it's a crappy hat. I mean, the Saints have many, many better.
Yeah, but I mean, look, okay. I'm going to be honest here. As a bald guy, there's nothing more in the world. I wish that I could be a visor guy, but I can't be a visor guy. I can't leave the top of my head exposed. Like, being a visor guy would be the stupid. You can't be bald and be a visor guy. You just can't. And I am jealous of anybody who can be a visor guy. And Payton is a visor guy. He looks good in it. That's been his look. And I hate to see him just totally abandon it. And I want him to go back to the visor.
Is he going bald?
I actually hate visors. I think visors are terrible. So that's a hot take. Visors are awful. Only wear ball caps.
Nah. See, you got to be same thing with like a vest. You got to be a vest guy or a visor guy.
Guys that like visors like vests. They go together, and they have terrible taste.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I bet you're one of those guys, Dave, that would wear like a Kojak hat out to dinner. Like one of those. What do you call those Kojak hats?
Nah, like a hipster, like one of them.
Yeah,
hipsters?
yeah.
Nah.
You seem like the kind of guy that would wear something like that.
I love a good visor, man. I love it.
Anyway, Payton, go back to the visors. What are you doing?
You will never see me wearing a visor.
Is this Skyline involved in this somehow? Because I gotta say, she's not always right. Okay.
But when it comes to Sean Payton, like, that's his look. So it was still jarring to me. Like, I agree with you.
Maybe he's like getting ahead of it. He's like covering.
Dude, that dude has more hair than any guy his age.
I don't know. I got a thing for visors. My dad was a visor guy back when I was younger when he played golf.
Here's the thing:
he wore like a foam visor?
If he's going to go away from the visor, Dave, should he go like weird hat with like sparkles or like maybe
I say go like hoodie. I say go hoodie. Go hoodie like Belichick. Maybe go hoodie.
You go hoodie. Or I think he should go like safari hat like Vaughn Johnson back in the day. Get a Saints logo slapped on there.
I think he should get I say hoodie, but like a loose fitting hoodie, so it kind of looks like he's like Sith, like from Star Wars, like he's Darth Vader or something like that.
Fedora hats? Fedora hats?
No. Fedoras?
No, you can't.
No?
You can't go fedora unless you
Roger Federer. He wants to wear a Roger Federer
hat. Swiss hat.
Here, the other interesting soundbite that he had, that Sean Payton did in this game was somebody asked him about the quarterback situation when they announced it, and he was annoyed as all get out about the quarterback question. I want you people that are watching on the live stream, and David Andrew, I want you to focus on his body language. He gets really weird here. And Thomas, play the clip.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll keep you posted. Yeah, I don't have a time frame though. I'll give you when we know what direction we're going, we'll let you guys know, and we're not going to, try to anticipate saying, hey, it's going to be midweek or next week. Yeah, I mean that's I think the best way for us to handle it.
He did like a shimmy there.
I don't know. I was too distracted by the hat. I couldn't see anything. No, you're right. He did a shimmy. He did like a roll his eyes, like he looked up at the sky and he was like, Jesus. Yeah, he like looked up at the sky and then like said a whole sentence while looking up in the air, like away from everybody. I thought what did he say? The first thing? Look, what did he say? I'll tell you when I tell, or something like that. But
yeah.
But I mean,
well,
he's the one mouthing off to Peter
King
King saying he wants to have a starter announced before Saturday.
Right.
It wasn't like the media made that up.
He probably let that slip, because Peter King was hanging out all day, kind of thing, But
yeah.
he it was interesting. And Dave, I'm guessing you didn't see this because you were at the game, but about an hour before kickoff, Lisa Salters had him on ESPN, and she asked him, Sean, you mentioned that you're kind of disappointed that this quarterback battle isn't as far along as you had hoped. And once it was clear that they had talked off camera and he had said something like that. And then he quickly was like, well, I mean, we've only been in training camp for 3 weeks. So, and he quickly tried to correct the way she framed it. But it was clear that he off camera, he told her I kind of wish one of these guys would have stepped up by now. And, so I just thought it was interesting that he got visibly annoyed with her once the camera turned on and he started to paint a different picture.
How dare she pay attention to what he's telling her off camera?
Yeah, that's right.
Lisa Salters was standing right in front of me.
Well, Jameis stepped up, but I felt like the person that stepped up the most was Dave, your UDFA son, Lil Jordan, because he had a horrific week of practice. Thomas, play those highlights of Lil Jordan, where he's rolling. He might have saved his job. Dave, were you proud of your UDFA son for saving his job with the Saints? Yes,
well, of course. Yesterday. Of course I was. But I want to see some of these because I never actually.
He did that little move a couple times.
Well, I want to see.
He does that twice. Let's see if he does it again.
Yeah, because it looks different when I'm watching.
Okay, so that's OPI. You don't see it there, but he shoves the dude to the ground. I don't know how that was.
They showed the replay, and it looked like he just juked him.
That's a great catch. He pushed off a little bit there too, but
that's a good high point. But all right, so he had three total catches.
You taught him well, Dave.
You know what?
He's handsy. He's the Ken Crawley of offensive.
You know what? Because you know what? You gotta try it. You gotta see what you can get away with. Some officiating crews, they're gonna let you get away with it, and you might as well take advantage of it.
Yeah, Callaway was doing it too.
Yeah. No, I would say Crawley was. Not Crawley. Callaway was obviously the star of the day as far as the receivers are concerned. Lil Jordan, I think, got overshadowed a little bit, but like you said, Ralph, he didn't have a great week of practice. He's obviously bounced back. This is a good showing. I think he's a decent receiver. He's never gonna be. Look, I'll be honest. He's never gonna be, some NFL superstar. But I think he can definitely contribute to any NFL team. He can certainly contribute to the Saints. But I think we were talking about. I saw people in Discord talk about this. The Saints have an issue at tight end. They've got nobody at tight end, and somebody like Lil Jordan, just like Juwan Johnson. Somebody like Lil Jordan can potentially fill that kind of role.
All right, now listen, Dave. Hold on, Dave. Like any good close friends and any solid relationship, anytime you build up a friend, you got to tear him back down.
That's right.
So let's talk about Latavius Murray.
Oh yes,
Davis.
No. I'm not even. Look, I can't even defend him. I really can't. I really can't even defend him. I mean, like Tony,
boyfriend.
What's going on with the
just
screen
compared to
pass?
Tony Jones? Just compared to Tony Jones, like he looks totally outmatched when you've got him and Tony Jones both out there and getting opportunities. I
hate to hear that. I hate to hear that.
I'm with you, Jim. I hate to hear it. I hate the fact that I'm saying it myself, but I'm not gonna. Look, I'm always going to be the guy that's going to shoot it straight with you. I'm not going to defend somebody who doesn't deserve defending, and I don't know if I can defend him.
Tony Jones is probably the number 2 right now, but do you guys think there's a chance that Devontae Freeman is the number 3 and they cut Latavius over?
I'm going to be. I feel like it's going to be a sad day. It's going to be a sad day.
It's going to be a sad day.
Wait. Hold on. I wanted to mention one thing because I saw it on Twitter. Yes, Latavius's carries, his offensive production, not great, but on the touchdown throw, he picked up the blitz. There was somebody coming in the wide open gap, and he picked that up. And and also you could probably give credit to Jameis because Jameis might have, called that out and told him to pick that up. But either way, he did it, and that was great. So there are things that he's doing that maybe don't show up on the
Saints do value that. Yeah.
Yes,
they do.
So
that's
that
like
is
a
the
job
one thing
saver.
I will defend in his honor. I will defend.
That's like a job saver. But I'm going to say this: if the Saints are going to get rid of Dave's boyfriend, Latavius Murray, they might as well just get rid of Devontae Freeman too, and just get a new running back off the waivers because they both look awful. And I'm with you. The thing is, I feel like they're going to give Dave's boyfriend a bunch of carries on Saturday night against the Cardinals, and he's going to show them just enough to where they'll be like, we'll keep him. Like, I feel like that is going to be fine. The one question I was going to ask Dave before Andrew jumped in about his boyfriend. Dave, do you feel like Lil Jordan, like, what's his comp for the Saints? Can he be as good as Brandon Coleman for the Saints?
Can who be as good as Coleman?
Can Lil Jordan? Can he be as good as Brandon Coleman?
You asking me or Dave?
Yes. Dave. Are you kidding me? Brandon Coleman?
Brandon Coleman was good though. Like
is Lil Jordan? Is he not already as good as Brandon Coleman? I mean,
no.
What are Brandon Coleman's stats?
Lil Jordan has caught one touchdown.
Yeah, but that was last season. This is like his season now. He's coming on. This is an opportunity. No Mike Thomas, no Deontay, no maybe I don't know Traquan. I don't know what's going on with Traquan.
So
Traquan's one of those. He's only going to be out for a short time, and then he might be dead. Brandon Coleman caught 23, 26, and 30 passes for the Saints
in 3 years.
He caught 8 career touchdowns in his best season. He had 454 yards.
All right, well, that's a little surprising. I will admit that.
Yeah.
His best season was 30 for 454.
I remember I did a Facebook Live interview with him when we drafted him, and my computer battery died, and it just totally shut down the entire interview.
I might give my bad arm if Lil Jordan could go 30 for 454.
Oh well,
and 2.
I think that's in play.
Yes, for Lil Jordan, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It became personal with me.
Yes, there you go.
Well, speaking of UDFAs, That's Dave's UDFA from last year. But here's the thing with the UDFAs, Andrew, it's you and me. Like everybody else, they cut the punter today, so Kevin's out. Thomas's UDFA got cut last week. Dave's is out. It's me and you now. I feel like I am in the pole position. I'm gonna win this.
I think you're my money's on you, Ralph, because Bryce Thompson's making plays on special teams too. But I gotta say, Josiah Bronson, he may make this team just by function of the fact that he's standing, because the defensive tackles are dropping like flies. Yeah.
Oh my God. The injuries the Saints have had at defensive tackle. And by the way, Budrich did this graphic. You can't see it if you're not on the live stream, and you should be. It's Ralph's UDFA son, and then behind him is Dave's UDFA son, and behind him is Kevin's UDFA son, and they're all holding guns to the back of the head. And then in the balcony is Andrew's UDFA son with a rifle. Budrich, I don't like your gift.
It's like those Game of Thrones episodes where they all go to war and there's carnage, but then there's like the scared guy that goes and he hides in the corner, and all these, there's all these dead soldiers, and there's the one guy comes out of the rubble and he's still alive, right?
Wow.
I feel like that's Josiah Bronson right now. I feel like he hasn't done anything, but he's still standing.
There was no Malcolm Roach in that meme. Malcolm Roach could be in there. You could add another.
That's old news, man.
Oh, come on.
Well, speaking of that, it's a good segue though, Andrew, mentioning your UDFA son. If he stands up, if he manages to not get injured, he'll make the team. It's a good segue to injuries. My God, the Saints, we had all this optimism last night, and then today the injuries hit. Troutman, he's injured. Vanette, he's injured. Your boy, what was the defensive end who had his tricep fall off his arm?
He's a defensive tackle, but it's Jalen Dalton.
His tricep fell off. Brian Poole, he's out for the year.
It's like a robot. Yeah. It's the piece of him just.
Ken
Crawley. And the thing that's crazy is he did an interview in the post game yesterday. He sounded fine. Like he didn't even mention it.
Yeah, the Jalen Dalton one hurts. Ken Crawley got hurt too. You didn't mention that, but
I was going to get to that.
Yeah, but Jalen Dalton to me was the best defensive tackle on the roster besides Onyemata. And with Onyemata out for 6 weeks, he was locked and loaded. This one is really sad because this is exactly what happened to him last year. He had a tremendous camp. He was going to make the team, and right at the end, he had a tricep injury. It was a partially torn tricep, but they ended up cutting him, and he doesn't make the team. And I don't know that he ever got surgery. I think he just rehabbed it, but fast forward a year later, now he's going to be a starter. He had a sack in that game. He's looking like the best defensive tackle on the team. Boom, it tears completely. And I don't know if you remember watching the game. He had the RoboCop arm. I texted you about that. I was like,
"That's right, you did."
It's the same contraption that Marcus Davenport wore last year. So I was like, "Oh shit, that's not good." And sure enough, it wasn't enough to keep him protected because he tore it this time completely, and he needs surgery. So he's out, and it's horrible for a guy like that because you work so hard, and he's a no-namer, right? He's an undrafted guy, but he just had 2 back-to-back great training camps, and now he's gonna be sitting on the couch and watching.
Dave, all the injuries, does it dampen your enthusiasm for Monday night? Because I was just drenched in optimism. Does it dampen your enthusiasm?
I mean, I hate to be that guy, but I mean, I was not really counting on Troutman or Vanette or Dalton.
You gotta have a body.
You're playing body.
I mean, yes, that is obviously the only issue here is just depth and not even having anybody on the roster. But I'm sorry, but I've never been sold on Troutman. Vanette is a question mark, and I think he'll probably forever remain a question mark. I would just as soon use Juwan and Lil Jordan.
You need a blocker, though, right, Andrew?
Those guys, Lil Jordan can block.
He's talking about a blocker at tight end, though. You want to move Lil Jordan to tight end?
You may not have an option at this point. He might be your best option. And then you've also got Taysom. Start getting in tight end shape. Forget quarterback.
Yeah. I mean,
got to start eating some boys.
They got to use some of that cap space, Andrew. They got to use some of that cap space and get Geno Atkins up in here. ASAP.
Taysom needs to go to like Acme or something. And he needs to get a dozen char grilled appetizer.
All right, first of all, a dozen. No, he needs like 2 dozen.
2 dozen, yeah. And then for an entree, he needs like a shrimp po' boy with like a peacemaker, oysters and shrimp. He needs like gumbo poured on top of that.
Yeah.
And then bread pudding for dessert, clearly.
5.
And a couple of those Grail beers, those big beers they have, the Grail. He needs a couple of those goblets. Yeah.
They do that at Acme.
Yeah.
Do you think Taysom, and I want both of you to answer, but Dave, you can go first. Do you think Taysom is going to be open when Sean Payton sits him down and says, look, it's Jameis? He's going to be the quarterback. Do you think Taysom is going to be like, hey, I want to be a quarter? Because people were tweeting that quote from him from like last year before he signed the 2-year extension, that he wants to be a quarterback, and if he can't be a quarterback with the Saints, he'll go somewhere else. But Dave, do you think Taysom will go back to tight end willingly, happily, after Sean Payton tells him, look, Jameis is the dude at quarterback?
I mean, happily, no. I think Taysom wanted to be the quarterback of this team.
I want good audio in this podcast, Dave. Some things aren't achievable.
The traditional quarterback of this team. But I think, obviously, everybody saw what we saw last night, and that includes Taysom. And I think Taysom knows where he stands.
Yeah.
And I think that Taysom is in this position because he's always been the guy that said, I'll do whatever you need me to do, and I'll do whatever you want me to do. And I don't see that changing. So I think when Payton sits down with Taysom and says, Jameis is the guy, Taysom is going to say, okay, well, what else can I do? How are we going to work me in here?
Yeah. I would be surprised if if Taysom doesn't accept his old role, the Swiss Army knife, because he got a fair shake at this. He got an opportunity to play. Although it was interesting, I did hear on the broadcast that when they talked to Taysom Hill, that he had visible, it wasn't displeasure, I forgot how they worded it, but he was like visibly maybe a little annoyed that he wasn't going to get to play with the same group that Jameis was going to get. So I'm sure he's annoyed, and I'm sure, it'll be disappointing and there'll be a sting at first. But then it's like, okay, I had my shot. Jameis beat me fair and square. I almost said Jason. Yeah. Jameis beat me fair and square. I'm the backup quarterback, so I can sit on the sidelines and hold a clipboard, or I can get on the field and do all the stuff I used to do. And I don't know. I think he comes around, because I just think like any competitor, I mean, they're paying him handsomely, and any competitor wants to be on the field competing. So
really
the only thing I can think of is if he's looking at it as, I want to be a quarterback for the long haul, and like I'm entering free agency next year, I could see him feeling like, well, I've done enough to prove that I deserve a shot to be a quarterback somewhere.
Has he?
I don't think he has, but I don't know. Maybe someone gives him money and it's a prove it deal or something. But I'm just saying, like, I could see Taysom saying, no, like, I don't want to risk having an ACL tear playing tight end or whatever. And then I have to go into free agency next year rehabbing that. I'd rather go into free agency healthy. I don't know. So.
I don't see that. But like, honestly, I say start him. We have one more preseason game. Start him. Give him another chance. Personally, I think if you do that, I think you're going to get more of what you've been seeing. I don't think you're going to see anything new. Best case scenario is what? He lights it up, and then all of a sudden now
it's even.
You've got a question on your hand, and one, you could potentially use that to your advantage going into week 1 against the Packers. And say, well, I don't know who I'm going to start a quarterback. You guys are going to have to game plan for both of them because I haven't decided yet. Because we just saw what Jameis did week 2 in preseason, and look what Taysom did week 3 in the preseason. I don't know. Oh boy, this is a decision. So I don't know. I say, hell, throw. And also, like, if you really do think Jameis is your guy, let him rest. Give him the week off or whatever. So I say, hell, start Taysom next week, week 3.
Saints O-line Kills said, would he be the worst starting quarterback in the league? No, Taysom would not be the worst starting quarterback in the league. I watched the Bears on Saturday. Andy Dalton is the worst fucking starting quarterback in the NFL. Taysom is better than him. So he's at least 31. Just saying. Before we get to the
Sam Darnold's worse.
Sam Darnold. Whew, that offensive line for Carolina is bad. Just saying. Before we get to the hot.
Wait, hold on. You got to play the breaking news siren.
Oh, what?
You got to play the breaking news siren. My wife just found my son's Pokemon encyclopedia book that me and my son were looking for all night. And my son was upset that he couldn't find it. My wife came home and she found it. It was right on the coffee table, right there in front of all of us. Anyway, she wanted everybody to know that. There you go.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
If that happened, if that happened with my wife, she would be in a rage and she might very well do violence against me.
Do violence. I love the term "do violence." Wait.
All right, guys. Well, this was a great show.
With aggression.
Wait, no. We were talking about, what were we just talking about? We were just talking about.
I don't know. You said the word Pokemon, and I freaking blacked out.
We were talking about.
What's your favorite Pokemon?
I was about to
Charizard.
I was about to segue to. They have the injuries, but kicker.
No, that's not what we were talking about. Yes,
Rosas.
No, Rosas, he sucks. He's terrible. Moving on. Next topic.
You didn't like that 52-yard bomb he hit before halftime?
You know what I didn't like was missing the freaking. This is exactly what we were talking about. This is exactly what you guys talked about. They went and signed a guy.
Look at those moves.
Serious moves.
They went and signed a guy who can.
Sean Payton has some competition.
He does.
I'm laughing at Andrew just leaning in at his screen and looking at those breasts.
I mean,
those supple breasts.
Those moves. You could spoon with them.
No, I mean, this is exactly what we were talking about like a week or two ago on the Big Show. They went and signed a guy who can probably hit like, a crazy long 62 field goal, but then he's going to miss a goddamn extra point, which is exactly what happened this week, which is exactly what we saw. And it's just like, I would rather have in the past, the MO of the Saints has been to get that guy who 40 yards and in, he's money, but 51 yarder. Yeah, that's totally iffy. I would rather have that. I can't stand this.
If it's a 51-yard field goal with Casey or Carney, it was like you're punting.
I can't stand this missing extra point shit. I cannot stand it. Give me the guy who's solid from 40 yards in.
Is the kicker?
And I'll take my chances from 50 yards out.
Well, Andrew is the kicker on the roster.
I'm gonna say no.
I'm saying no either. Yeah, they're gonna sign somebody else.
There's a lot of guys in camp right now.
Somebody's gonna get cut. Somebody's gonna get cut.
The Patriots have 2. The Giants have 2. Yeah. The Ravens have 2. There are several guys that are looking pretty good in camp right now.
And the final topic before we get to the hotline.
No, we were talking about something else, and I had a comment about it, and you moved on.
I was going to talk about Crawley. We were going to talk about his rebirth, which was one of the most amazing things we've ever seen with the Saints. But he got hurt in the game. He's going to miss 3 weeks. He might be back for Green Bay, hopefully.
Oh, I know what I wanted to say. It was about Taysom. Okay, I have one final thought on Taysom.
Oh, here we go.
I just...
Man, pull it together, my God.
He's lost it over his own jokes.
Yeah.
I'm laughing at Andrew. I'm laughing at Andrew. Here we go. Anyway, I cannot... you talk about whether Taysom is a starting quarterback in the NFL. When he pulls the plays out where he's scrambling, and like last night when he was under pressure and he rolled to the right and he tried to get the ball out and he just sent out this spinning helicopter floozy ball, that sticks in my mind. That is, it sticks in my mind as like a very amateurish, very rookie, just terrible play, and
like a YOLO panic move, a borderline Aaron Brooksy.
Yeah, and I think I just whether it's crazy or unfair or whatever, but just that's in my mind, that's in my memory, and I can't unsee it. And to me, a starting NFL caliber quality quarterback is not making those plays.
Is it like the Raiders of the Lost Ark where they open the Ark and it melts your face? You can't unsee it.
Like it's done and dusted, man. Jameis is the guy. Jameis is gonna be our quarterback.
No, I said it. I said it after I tweeted it after he threw the first touchdown pass. I said that's it. That's
it. Yeah.
Game over.
I agree.
Game over.
It's a wrap. We said it the last week. We're like, when is Jameis gonna separate himself from Taysom? And it's like, he did it Monday night.
So maybe we have Lisa Salters to thank for this, because she asked the question ahead of time, and she kind of brought this into existence. Maybe she spoke it into existence. I think.
I could see Sean Payton going over to Jameis and him saying, "Look, if I have to deal with Lisa Salters again, you better come out and put this thing to bed." Yeah.
And by the way, the Jaguars are terrible.
They are a bad football team.
By the way, Urban Meyer, his body language on the sideline is awful. Like Sean Payton, when the Saints are getting their head kicked in, he doesn't be exasperated and bend over on his knees and stuff. Like,
well, that's because you're distracted by the hat.
I don't like the hat. I'm with you, Dave. He's a visor guy. You need to be a committed visor guy. So, listen, I forgot who tweeted it. It might have been Dave or Andrew. During the game was like, is the hotline open? I need to vent. I need to praise Callaway. And I was like, the Saints Happy Hour hotline is always open. And I tweeted out the number, and we only had a couple of calls, but it's the first week where we remind people that we have the Saints Happy Hour hotline that they can call and they can vent or celebrate a Saints win. It's like a 1975 Chevy truck. You got to crank the engine. It's cold. You got to get it warmed up. But we did the hotline this week. We're kicking it off because we're only 3 weeks away from the regular season, so we got to get the hotline moving. Thomas, fire up the hotline for the people. It's time for this week's hottest takes from the Saints Happy Hour hotline.
I just want to conduct a search party for Sean Payton's balls because his ambush and flea flicker and challenge flag reigning days are over, and he's now the guy who bent over for Goodell and doesn't trust his future Hall of Fame quarterback to get 8 yards with the game on the line.
So fuck it. That's it. That's the voicemail. That's it. Play me on the show. Or don't play me on the show. I don't give a fuck.
All right, kind of drunk, but let's do this.
Yes.
Jameis Winston, QB number 1. Dare I say, in book, QB number 2. Taysom Hill, you better go back to playing tight end and all these little gadget plays. So stick to that. Defense, looking pretty good. I need to see a little bit more from Marcus Davenport and Granderson. I need to see them finish That's what I need this team to do. They're getting pressure, but they're not getting there to the quarterback. So I need to see them finish. But defensive tackle, I've kind of calmed down on that. But don't cut Kevin White. Keep Kevin White there. You know, you gave him some slant plays. That's not really his thing. He's not Michael Thomas. Have him stretch the field, you know, that type of thing. But, hey, who dat? Let's see what we can do with Winston.
Marquise Callaway is a goddamn god. That man has me less worried about a wide receiver issue. Just give him wide receiver money. Give him the $20 million per year contract. Pay that man before he has a 1,500-yard season. He's a god. A god.
Well, yeah, we only had a couple, but the Saints' big win, a huge loss. People will call in, and that's what Thomas, leave the graphic up. Call it up. It's I can't read it up. My eyesight is terrible, but it's
What are you, Jameis?
210-595-0818.
Yeah,
210-595-0818.
And we set it so it doesn't ring a dozen times. You go straight to voicemail. Leave us a good voicemail. We'll play it on the next show. So it'll be. I'll tweet it out again when they play Arizona Saturday night. So we had the hotline, but now I want to remind people 2 mugs. It's the 2021 Saints season survival mug. 2 of them left. It might be the Saints celebration mug if Jameis keeps playing at MVP levels. But we only have 2 of them left, so get them. Become an annual patron. Boom, you get them.
You know,
you didn't see that.
I was thinking about the suspensions that are looming for Deontay and Lattimore. And I feel like every article I read that mentions Lattimore mentions this impending suspension that could be coming. And I don't think he's going to get suspended. I really think – I just think that case is going to get thrown out, and then he won't get any discipline. So I'm at least hopeful that he'll never get suspended. And with Deontay, I think I was looking at P.J. Williams' case because I remember from a timing perspective, I remember it happened in the summer and all that. And he settled his case in August, and he did not get suspended until October 15th. And it was a similar deal. It was DUI. It got knocked down to like reckless driving, and he ended up getting 2 games on October 15th. So I just think if Deontay, like, they're probably waiting for the resolution of that case, and he just got his DUI in July. And so I'm sure his lawyers are asking for continuance until the football season ends. So we'll see when he gets whacked. And I do think Deontay will get suspended, but I guess my point here is, like, we're probably going to have both guys for week 1.
Dave, would you rather Deontay get suspended for like 2 games in the middle of the season, or would you rather him just get it all out of the way week 1, week 2?
That's an interesting question.
I think you want Deontay suspended after Michael Thomas gets back.
Yeah, I think I'd want him in the middle of the season. I think I would want him suspended in the middle of the season. I'd want as much help as we can get to start the season. I think, you know, Payton and the Saints, they've always emphasis on starting off well, you know, getting a good start, 1, 2, 3 wins in a row. You don't want to start off 0-2, 0-3, 0-4. They did that many years under Payton, and that never bodes well for the rest of the season. No. So I think anything that's going to help them get off to a good start and, you know, build that momentum, I think that's the best.
Well,
I think they need Deontay Harris because I think they're going to need shenanigans and craziness against Green Bay.
They want field stretching. Yeah, they want to use that Jameis arm. And Sean Payton hasn't had an arm like that for a while, so he wants to use it. But AP 1898 in the chat says that now that I've said this, they're both getting suspended tomorrow, and that's absolutely what's happening. So I apologize in advance. Andre George. I definitely jinxed the Saints there. But Ralph, I was going to say, after such a great preseason game, it was nice of you to put up the Callaway and Jameis fatheads behind you.
It was.
Oh,
I
right,
got the Callaway.
Right, yes.
I got the Callaway fathead.
And is
The
that
word-
is that Rosas at the top?
I had to buy it on the black market. Yeah. I mean,
Did you order your Lil Jordan fathead yet?
I got it.
That's behind the flag. He lifts it up, when he has a good game.
Lil Jordan. It's not there. But do they have custom? I mean, I can get a little. Is there any fathead I can get them for the Saints? So, speaking of fatheads, Thomas, let's get to the questions.
What next?
Play the music. There we go. Finger guns. Finger guns, baby.
Don't shoot your junk off.
You can shoot your dick off.
We've got dueling sound bites.
Right.
Okay, first question from Christmas to Dave. How different is the dome now that some renovations have been done?
Thank you.
Yeah, Dave.
Glad you asked.
Alice Superdome.
Yes, the Caesars Superdome. We are all Caesars. I saw pictures. A buddy of mine, he helps out with the Saints sometimes. So he sent me pictures. So it's cool up at the top where they did like the indents and the 600 levels, so that the people over the end zone can now kind of see the end zone. They don't have the obstructed view seats. They have the new end zone field level suites. Those are probably the coolest.
Classy.
Yeah, those are cool because if you're sitting there, somebody scores a touchdown, they could very easily just hop right on over and hop into your suite and maybe have a drink and a popcorn before they go back and join the game. But they did an interview with JB Smoove, who's the Caesars Palace spokesperson, and it looked like he was staying in one of those suites in the end zone. And then I know a lot of people were wondering about like entry. The dome was like 1/5 of the way filled. I mean, maybe 20,000 people. So the testing and the security, it wasn't really pushed to the max. So I can't tell you how bad it's really going to be when the regular season starts. But obviously, for this game, it was very smooth. There was nothing, But they had, when I walked up to the plaza level outside, they had somebody standing there who was responsible for checking vaccination and that kind of stuff.
Well, you can get vaxxed. The Saints will let you get vaxxed and then go into the stadium and it offended.
Yeah, they had 100 people get vaxxed. The Saints doing helping out the community. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, you can get vaxxed, get your card, and go in. It offended Darren Ravel deeply, but people are like, "Look, we just."
Well, that means it's working. If it offended Darren Ravel, that means it's working. Oh, the other thing I will say is they have a new. Obviously, every season they have a new hype video, but the hype video, the pregame hype video, was super cool, and I don't know if it's going to be this way moving forward. I don't know if they did this because it wasn't a full stadium, and I know sometimes the sound can bounce around a little bit and sound weird if you don't have a full stadium. But like, the music was coming from like one half of the stadium, and the like announcer and on field talking and videos were coming from the other end of the stadium. And I don't know if they did that because because they didn't want to do the full speaker system, because it wasn't a full stadium, and sometimes the sound kind of bounces around and gets muddled. So maybe they were trying to do that just to.
Well, I just want to say we didn't play it, but Sean Payton's post-game sound was horrific.
Oh, I heard it because I listened to the WWL podcast where they just had the Sean Payton post-game press conference, and the first like 2 minutes was
horrific.
It sounded like our podcast.
No, it sounded worse than our podcast. I'm just saying.
What next?
Okay, next question from Badrich. Over under, will the Saints defense win us 6.5 games?
So does that mean that's all we're winning? And does that imply that it's the defense that's winning games for us, or that the Saints? I think what he's saying is the Saints defense wins those games for us, and then the offense might win us more, right? Is that?
Yeah.
I think that's just clarify in the chat.
I think he's saying that the Saints defense is good enough to win us 6.5 games on their own. And then we might win.
Well, that was certainly true last year. Now I'm not so sure.
I think
why? Because Jalen Dalton got hurt. Jalen Dalton is the linchpin of this defense working.
Yeah, no. After this preseason so far, what I've seen, I would take the over on that actually.
Yeah,
I think so too.
I mean, they're going to be. I'm very confident.
Butteridge has asked better questions than this, by the way.
I'm very confident now that the Saints are going to be playing meaningful games after Thanksgiving.
What next?
Okay, next question comes from Saints Rabbit. Do y'all think that Taysom may lose his effectiveness in his Swiss Army role as a result of his training change-up? And if so, how quickly could he beefcake himself back into Swiss Army shape?
I love the way that... that's a great question, and I love the way it's written. That's really funny. I was gonna...
does he want to get?
Yeah, how illegal? You know, I don't know. I think it's easy to put on 20 pounds in 3 weeks. I think we can all do that. But
I could do that.
Dave definitely.
Easy.
But
Payton probably went to Taysom after the game yesterday and was like, start putting on weight.
Yeah, start getting it going.
I Amazon primed creatine to your house.
Yeah, no, I mean, I do wonder, just like the punt protector role, the tight end role. I mean, there's definitely some things that he's changed his body composition a little bit, and I don't know that. I mean, he's set up to get injured potentially. You know, playing those positions right now. I think. So it's going to require a change in his training and his regimen. So I don't think he could do it today, and you know. It may be like a ramp-up period. I bet that's what they'll do, where at first maybe he's just doing the Wildcat stuff. So they'll put him in there. He can still run the football, obviously. But when it comes to the blocking, the punt protector, some of that stuff, maybe they'll wait on that until he gets a little bigger.
Thomas, you needed to read that question in a Cartman voice. You needed to go, beefcake! Just for a South Park reference. Just saying. They have South Park in Poland, Thomas?
Yeah, but I don't like it. Not
what next?
Okay, next question from Alfredo.
Sorry.
Yeah. You go ahead.
Well, I was going to say we have a listener in Poland who is saying that we need to start having Polish trivia on the show in Thomas's honor. I'm kind of down for that.
Polish. I'm not.
Yeah. We would all fail miserably. It'd be hilarious.
Thomas is like, your trivia.
Ralph, you don't know any Polish trivia?
I don't know.
How many cities can you name?
Get Thomas paid every month in whatever.
Can you name more than one city in Poland?
Demands.
Can you pronounce Ralph? At least one city from Poland?
Is Reykjavik in Poland?
No, that's Iceland.
Holy shit!
Okay. No way.
Warsaw. That's one.
Yeah. That's one.
Okay, I don't know if I know a second one though.
I don't know. I don't know.
Look at the chat for help.
Warclaw.
Wroclaw.
That's Warsaw, isn't it?
No.
That's a different city than Warsaw.
Warclaw. Okay, nice.
Roclaw.
I like that. No, that's different city. Yeah.
What about Poznan? Poznan?
Yeah. That's yeah. That's good.
I'm trying to think if I know any others.
What city is Tomas in?
Yeah.
Oh, good luck with pronouncing that.
Can you type it in the chat?
He's by the mountains.
I think we already did that. Okay, I'm gonna type it.
I don't think I know any other Polish cities. That's all I got. What did we get? We got 3 between the two of us in the chat.
Minsk? Where's Minsk?
It's not Poland.
Where is that?
Finland.
Thomas has got that
Finland.
weird hyphenated city
not.
because I had to ship him something, and I was like, "Is this a real place, Thomas, or are you just having me ship a box to nowhere?"
Wait, no. Minsk is Belarus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minsk,
Okay.
Belarus, yeah.
Is Belarus close to Poland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Iceland close to Poland?
No.
Oh
no.
It's very
Krakow.
south.
No.
Krakow, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Second biggest city, Poland, yeah.
Krakow.
So that was Dave Daniel that said that in the chat. Good call. So Thomas's city is Skardisko Kamenia. How'd I do?
Probably terrible.
That's decent.
Not
Better
decent?
than Ralph. Better than Ralph.
I'll take it.
That's insulting to Andrew, actually.
Yeah. That bar is
whenever they
pretty
tell
low.
you that you pronounce something better than Ralph, that's just a slap in the face. So,
all right. Well, this has been your Polish geography
there you go.
of the podcast. We need the
Polish
more you know
geography.
sound.
Next week we'll be doing. Next week we'll be. Next week we'll be doing mountain ranges and rivers.
So terrible. It does not sound like that on my phone.
We need jingle.
All right, Thomas. What else you got?
Okay. Next question. Oh. Wait a second. Yeah. Next question from Alfredo. The Dome premiered a whole bunch of new stuff last night to go with their new branding. What would be one addition you would make to the Caesars Superdome experience?
Well, can you bet in the Superdome?
No.
Not yet.
I think now that it's the Caesars Superdome, I feel like there has to be some gambling component.
Kiosks. Yes.
Yes.
I don't. What would be I'm not sure what the legality of that would be. I mean, like Harrah's is about to become a Caesars, right? They're about to change the name to Caesars.
I just feel,
and obviously bars can have video poker.
Somebody in the chat said strippers. I like that idea.
I just feel like what could possibly make you feel better when the Saints are down 40? You know, there's going to be a day where Sean Payton retires and the Saints aren't going to be any good. And the only thing that's going to make you feel better about the Saints getting their teeth kicked in is losing $200 at the blackjack table.
The blackjack end zone.
Yeah.
You can, and they could turn the suites into a blackjack table, so you could go and you could play blackjack as the Saints are getting their head kicked in. I like that idea.
That could get dark because you're gonna get people that are like, the only thing that can make me feel better is a little bit of winning some cash after this performance, and then you lose a bunch of cash and your life is.
You imagine the Saints get their head kicked in and you lose like 400 at the blackjack table? Oof.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: gambling is gonna within 5 years, you will be able to gamble when you go to the Saints game. I 100% believe that.
Totally.
Next.
Okay, last question. I saved the best for last. Comes from JMU. Who that? So, and now that he's retired, if Drew was to have a Steve Buscemi style people to kill list, consisting of former teammates, who would make the list?
Olin Kreutz.
Olin Kreutz, for sure. Probably Shanley, because...
Dan Morgan. He was expecting Dan Morgan to lead the defense and make him better 2 times in a row, 2 years in a row.
I'm sure Brandon Browner and Jason David are tops that list.
Greg Williams, does that count as a teammate, or is that a coach and he doesn't qualify?
He doesn't qualify. But how could he hate on? I mean,
Hauser.
Yeah, Hauser.
Yeah.
Hauser.
Definitely, 100%.
Top of the list.
Top of the list.
Top of the list.
100%. Hauser's probably like 1, 2, and 3.
Has Breeze ever had a dust up with? I guess he didn't like Kenny Stills.
Junior Gillette.
Didn't he have a problem with Kenny
Gillette.
Stills?
Yeah.
Didn't Breeze have a problem with Kenny Stills?
That was the assumption, I think.
They got
That's why they shipped him.
rid of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's about it. Is anybody? I'm looking in the chat if anybody can think of a teammate that Drew Brees would want to have on his list.
Brandon Cooks.
Maybe, a kicker when they cycle through all them kickers.
Ooh, Olindo Mare.
Olindo Mare, Grammatica. Does he blame Tommy Lee for 2018? A little.
No.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
No. Bill Vinovich is at the top of his list.
Ooh, offensive lineman. What offensive lineman got him killed?
Zach Street.
Bryce Harris.
Bryce Harris. I mean,
Charles
Brown.
Charles Brown.
Speed, obviously.
Somebody in the chat. Dan Arnold, the drop in the
Ooh, Dan Arnold's a good call.
Oh yeah, Dan Arnold.
Jared Cook.
Yeah. Oh, Jared Cook, 100%. Now we're picking up
Jared
steam.
Cook's kind of his boy, though.
Yeah,
he
but
likes
he
Jared.
fumbled away the
Colby
game.
Fleener.
Should have won that game.
Ooh, Fleener.
Oh, Fleener. Yeah, but Fleener had that big game against the Redskins in 2017 when they had the miracle.
I'm gonna give Dave the gold medal with Hauser. That's too good.
Hauser.
That was a gimme.
I mean, if you did a Mount Rushmore of people Drew wanted to kill, you'd have to have Hauser on there.
4 houses. His wife,
Hauser,
his
Charles
children.
Brown, Dan Arnold, and one more maybe.
I was gonna say Hauser is on Sean Payton's list. That's a better question. Who is on Sean Payton's list?
Well, no, I was going to say if you had a Mount Rushmore of most hated Saints people or players, I think you've got Hauser. You have who was the Bounty Gate guy? Who was the snitch? Mike.
Greg Williams.
No.
Cirillo.
Yes, Cirillo.
Mike Bell, just because of the cleat incident.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I mean, he's up there for most hated of all time, I think.
Yeah.
Hauser.
Agreed.
So that's it. That's it for the questions, right, Thomas? So there we go.
Yeah.
That was a great question. I need to figure out how to work Twitch and edit a scene or whatever and use this who Drew Brees wanted to kill.
Who Dat Ambush says that I'm number 1 on Sean Payton's list. Tough but fair.
That's
Tough
right.
but fair.
Tough but fair.
That's right.
Tough but fair.
You're never getting
his own flesh and blood. His own flesh and blood can't even get him to unblock me.
Dude, you're gonna get unblocked when I figure out how to make the Yeti microphone work.
Wow.
That's
the worst joke I've ever heard.
So, but we just want to remind people, listen, support this podcast. We're the best Saints podcast there is. We have the best community. We're going to have fun. We've got fantasy drafts. Oh, and by the way, we have instituted relegation this year for the fantasy draft so we can open it up for more people to play, more patrons. And we're going to have a survival league for patrons. We're going to give away prizes. We're going to give away maybe Saints tickets and stuff, fun stuff. So join the Best Saints podcast, become a patron, support the show so we can have it. And I'm telling you, you can say whatever you want. I don't care if it's bragging or whatever. Nobody does a live stream like we do a live stream. We got Thomas doing sound clips and video and sound drops. Ain't nobody doing it.
We got Dave walking around his house like it's like it's Blair Witch Project.
Ain't nobody got an executive producer like Thomas, and we need your support to keep this stuff going. And by the way, we're gonna have a special preview on Twitch, 45-minute show Friday night. So remember to join us then on Twitch previewing the Saints final preseason game. So remember to do that. Pound the donate button. We need all the support. These things, they aren't free, man. The streaming, Thomas being amazing, it's not free. So support the show, become an annual patron. So
we need to buy Ralph another Blue Yeti, you know.
Yeah, I need another microphone in the graveyard.
Ralph needs a Blue Yeti that he can receive, open in the mail, and then immediately throw in the trash.
That's correct.
The Yeti graveyard.
Kevin, who is MIA.
Clip of the week, Ralph. Clip of the week.
Oh, clip of the week. We got to do clip of the week. Thomas has got it.
I spoiled it already, but man.
Go.
Stick to the round,
clip of the week.
Are we done with trivia? Are we not doing that anymore?
We are done with trivia, but play the clip of the week, Thomas.
Ralph forgot about the trivia. we are not done. We are not done. Don't worry, Andrew.
Okay.
Okay, clip of the week.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Worry about your meat.
Clip of the week is very short, so pay close attention, and was clipped by Errol in Uptown, New Orleans, and it's called "Worry About Your Meat."
There's no sound to that. It's just video. No, it's just video.
Just
Dave. No, I removed the sound. I removed the sound.
You've already teased that like 7 times on the show.
Yeah, I played it by accident.
Well, for those listening who don't have video, it's me holding up a beautiful slice of prosciutto. Yes.
No, for those listening, you should go to Twitch and watch the Eclipse section of our channel.
That's right. Andrew's dad says we got to get Ralph the pie in the face. The deadline for the pie in the face is passed, but if we get to 350 patrons, whenever we get there, I will take a pie in the face. We're at 298 patrons. I forgot to send.
Yeah, you guys need to tell all your friends to sign up. I mean, we need 2 people to get to 300. That'd be sick. Help us out. Get somebody to sign up. You have a friend that's a diehard Saints fan that's looking to burn some money.
Leonidas needs you. 300.
Yeah, it looks I know there's some listeners out there that aren't patrons. Come on, step up to the plate. Help us out.
So I'm just saying. So we're ain't nobody doing what we're doing for Saints.
Look, what other podcasts eat prosciutto live on the show? Come on.
Exactly. We are
stuff made of legends.
Yes. We have
Dave, this is feeling a little Silence of the Lambs here, I gotta say.
It is. Yeah, I hate him with a nice clean.
He's muted.
Hello, Clarice.
Hey, Tomas, check the timestamp on this.
Fun fact: I've never actually seen.
Dave's about to look in his fridge and say "Candyman" 5 times.
Yeah.
Candyman. Candyman.
All right, so I forgot, Thomas, I was really proud of myself. I had followed the rundown to the end, and then, of course, right at the end, I botch it and forget the clip of the week. I apologize. But
what about trivia? Thomas, do we have trivia?
No trivia this week. Next week we'll have trivia.
No trivia. I completely forgot about it. And Andrew, I literally did not think of trivia until you just mentioned it. Poor hosting on my part. But so anyway, play the music, Thomas. So for Kevin, who's MIA, for Dave, for Andrew, for Thomas, executive producer extraordinaire, running the show back in Poland in the middle of the night. You people don't know what he does. He did an amazing job setting all this up. So remember, kids, don't shoot your dick off. And until next week, the bar is closed.
You're going to shoot your dick off.